And we're live. Okay. So, last session, Aravok was brought into the manor of Lisa. And after you guys left for last session, the only real interaction we had was this really cool interaction between like Mikhail and Aravok, where you kind of established like, okay, you don't mess with me, I don't mess with you, kind of thing. But there's clearly some tension there. And obviously, there was a interaction between William and Erebach that was really interesting because they kind of started discussing, their philosophies, and we got kind of deeper into that. But Lisa didn't really get a chance to speak with Erebach, and that was something that you needed to do. So once he enters the manor, how would you want to how would you want to initiate this kind of meeting with him? Because
So,
Mikhail's basically left, so the only people that are in the manor now are essentially, you, maybe your butler. Alistair's off somewhere else. I'm not sure where. But it's just mostly the three of you in the room, mainly.
hello.
Hello.
I have been wanting to talk to you in person for a moment now.
You have?
I have. Do you wish something? May I offer you food?
Meat. Meat
Very
is
well.
good.
Very well. If you would follow me, please.
Williams.
So I take him to the dining room,
Sure.
and I ask my staff to prepare some meat for him.
Sure. They get right on that.
Yeah, I think they were already preparing meat for William. Who was
Yeah, I was gonna say. So they're already making meat anyway for you. So
Meat is on the menu.
yeah. William's just like, is he just gonna be taking my food?
Kind of, yeah.
Fighting over the dog bowl.
William, you're going in the dining room too, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of, the three of you are now in the dining room, and there's a long stretch of time where the food is being prepared, so you have plenty of time to speak to each other.
All right. So, I do not wish to bring back bad memories, but would you happen to be from Arcadia?
Name doesn't ring a bell to you, so.
From where? Exactly. I do not know this place.
I'm sorry, it's just that please understand I am very curious. You are the first of your kind that I get to meet, and judging by my elders' reaction, they are not used to you either. So I just wanted to learn more about you.
Anything specific?
Well, for starter, where do you come from? Where do you come from?
Would he be able to answer that?
The answer, it would depend on, you'd assume they mean your birthplace, so that's the answer you'd probably end up giving. Yeah, you could probably answer that.
From Africa.
Africa. Were you always a dragon?
No.
I'm sorry, maybe this is uncomfortable to talk about for you.
I actually want to see how uncomfortable this is making him, actually. So I'm gonna have him roll clarity just to see how uncomfortable it is.
Okay.
And if it isn't, then you might be able to give more clear answers. But if it wouldn't be easy for you to actually remember a lot of details. Usually, I like to assume that you can give basic information, but just details are difficult. You don't remember like specifically what happened during your durance because until you get into higher levels. But and usually you don't even know. Yeah. And usually you don't even know what happened before your durance either sometimes. So it really depends on, how much you want to decide you remember. But like, I think you know where you were born, but you wouldn't remember a lot during the period where you were taken, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't want to wrestle with these.
So let me,
sort of.
I just need to go get the actual penalties here. I don't think so. They were asking you, and you became. I'm gonna say this would. I don't think I would say it's like level 3. Like it's not strongly associated with your durance, but I would say at least it's +1 here. Your needle thread. I have to check that one because that's not related to your nature, your draconic nature. And then you have. Yeah, okay. So I think I'll just do +1. So it'll cancel out your touchstone. So it'll basically be, let me look here. I just had to see the base number. Base number is, I think this one is, no, that's killing fetches. Mortal, losing touchstone, present evidence. Is it remembering details? I don't have this chart memorized yet. I wish I did because I use it a lot. But eventually I'll probably memorize it. It just takes me some time. No, I don't think it's level 5. I think I'm just going to say 2 dice. I don't think it's going to be that extreme.
2 dice. Okay.
Yeah, it is 2. I got it right. It's 2 dice. I just had to double check. Okay, sorry.
Do these ones explode or just?
They do, but you really, it only matters if you get like, success or not. Okay, that's 2 successes. That's not good. Okay, so that means you are pretty, you are put into a very uncomfortable position by this kind of questioning. It's hard for you to kind of remember. And I almost imagine it's kind of hard for you to remember when you're human at this point because you've changed so much that it's hard for you to remember a lot of your human life. You do remember where you were born, and you might have memories of like very early memories of maybe your childhood, but everything else is kind of difficult because you've been altered to such a degree that recognizing yourself as even being human is kind of hard.
Yeah.
And your durance changed you in such a radical way that it's difficult for you to even remember maybe parts of your human life too. So what you need to do now is you roll 1 die because you're only weird 1. So you probably won't take a lot of damage, but we'll see if you do or not. Okay, so you don't actually take damage, but you are, mentally kind of put it back by this. You can continue. So you're not actually mentally scarred. You might even actually be able to remember more details now, if you want. But it's sort of a situation where it's difficult for you to talk about for sure.
I don't really recall. It's misty. It's no, I don't know.
I'm sorry I asked. I didn't mean to bother you. Well, listen, I know for a fact you probably have reason to not necessarily trust us, and I am aware that you might have some animosity with Mikhail, my sire. But as far as I am personally concerned, you are welcome here. I have no animosity for you, and I am in fact intrigued. So you can stay here as much as you want, and I will be gladly provide you with food and shelter.
So question, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but for out of character, so as your character, you can choose if you want to make that into an oath, because just by them saying it, you can either seal them, put them into an oath, or make a bargain the same way that William did, and you know that in character. So I just want you to be aware of that. So you have like 3 different levels of options that you can make just from them making that assurance to you. Which would be just so you know, like more clearly out of character, you can either just bind them to that specific promise, which would basically mean that they would be punished in a minor way if they didn't actually like follow through on their bargain, or their part of the deal, and then or you could make it into like a formal promise and like seal them to that for life, or you can make a bargain, which is essentially what William did, where it's more of a mutual kind of, okay, I'm going to provide this for you, I provide this for you, and then we both get a mutual kind of benefit thing. And you would actually know this, that if you make a bargain with Lisa, that it would protect you from both the family Fae as well that might be coming after you. So all 3 are sort of different, but they effectively are all focused on the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you run this household?
Well, technically speaking, I do, but I am still under the authority of Mikhail, because as my sire, he is responsible of me. You see, I have only been embraced recently, so I don't exactly have a major authority in my people. Still, we consider even something of something sacred. So, for the most part, you should be safe here. Of course, if you have somewhere else you feel comfortable being, I wouldn't oppose it. You are in no obligation to stay here.
Technically he is, but that's nice for you to say.
Okay, good point. But
you're not like lying to him necessarily, but you're like, oh, you can go somewhere else. But then Mikhail wouldn't be very happy about that because he was told to keep you here. But I totally get where you're coming from. You're like, yeah, you don't necessarily. I think you were given the information, but you're just being courteous. Like, hey, you can go, but you probably don't, directly lie to him, like saying, yeah, you can't leave. I don't think you'd want to tell him that. Like, yeah, actually, you can't leave.
An outside force beyond my control is keeping me here. It's compelling me to stay.
Oh, intriguing.
You feel it too?
Yes. Tis the GM. Tis the plot.
Oh, that one was funny.
I was actually like legit saying that because William actually does have a feeling like something is drawing him.
Well, that is part of the bargain you made. So you're literally now bound to the household.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I was also meaning the summer court thing,
Yeah, that too. I mean, but technically, for William, for your sake, you can leave.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the contract doesn't, or the bargain you made doesn't mean you have to stay there for the rest of your life. It just means you're obligated to help them, and it's not a permanent thing. Like, you guys could have agreed on a timetable so that if you don't want to guard them 24/7, you don't necessarily have to. Like, you can go off and do other things.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not you're not under a geese or something where you must stay in the house forever. Like, it's not, but it's more of okay, I'm now hired on as the bodyguard and I have to do this job. And as long as I don't violate that job or do anything that Lisa tells me, like, oh, you have to stay tonight and do this. If she gives you an order like, oh yeah, you're free tonight, then you could theoretically go out and do whatever you wanted.
By the way, Erebok, have you seen a castle? Perhaps in your dreams?
You have seen castles before.
No, I saw one in town.
Yeah.
If you'd call it that. I guess. Yes.
Would you tell me where it is?
I could do. Why? Exactly.
The last time I slept, I dreamt of this castle that I've never seen before. And I have a feeling it draws me.
Sorry, just getting a random thought there. You're drawn to this castle.
Yes.
Well, I guess I could show you where it is. But that will have to wait.
Very well.
As for what's keeping me, I don't know. It is a feeling. I just have a feeling I belong here.
I see.
So you have no desires to go back?
I am not sure. For now, I will stay. Should I want to go back, I can do so. It's not difficult.
Very well.
They start
Well-
bringing in plates. Like you see the staff kind of coming in with plates of food and meat and other appetizers, just sort of starting to put plates down on the table.
Well, I think you can take time to enjoy the meal. Obviously, I cannot, but I am sure you will appreciate it.
You just like start just eating vigorously.
Basically grabs one.
Yeah, just
It's like pulls it.
I just imagine it's like a fucking like shonen anime, like
yeah, he's just like protagonist eating, like yeah.
So, anyway, what brings you here exactly? I'm sure you didn't came to us without any reason. Surely there is something you are looking for.
You would actually remember the moment before you fell out of the hedge, so you could tell them like, exactly if you wanted to say, oh yeah, I got hit with a cannon and then I flew in through a porthole, but I don't know if you'd necessarily want to give them that information, but you would know that.
so I'm just imagining William jumps on the table just to get some food.
Okay, so you just start jumping on the table.
I'm not like jumping on a bed, but like kind of leap on the table, like
Yeah.
going
No,
upwards, like
I get you. So you're like crawling on the table now.
yeah.
Okay. You're calling up her sheets, but it's fine. They can afford new ones.
Yeah, the sheets are taking lethal damage.
Yep.
What brings me here? I recall something. Smoke, fire, ash, something hard. Falling. And then I was here.
You fought in the war?
It could be. I don't recall.
I remember smelling ash before I jumped through the portal, and it was on a battlefield.
I see.
The enchantress sent me to hunt the city changelings.
Now, does he know anything of the enchantress at all?
I was gonna say you could probably roll either you could do a memory roll, or if you're, I'm not sure if your composure or your occult is better, but it would be either intelligence, occult, or.
They're pretty much the same unless it's African superstition.
So no, so it would basically be, I'd say, an occult roll then.
Okay. So occult and what?
And intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay. Nothing.
You don't really you don't know, like, the name is, so you know, like, oh, the enchantress, but you don't know of them directly. You know that, like, they dealt with her indirectly, like you would have gotten messages and they would have been mentioned, but you don't know them. You know that, like, they were around. Not necessarily the same area you were in, but you it's not like you don't think they exist. Like, that, you know, they were in the area, but you don't know them or anything about them, but they were mentioned pretty frequently. So it would be unrealistic to say, like, yeah, you don't know them at all, because you do know of them, but you don't know anything about them. The name is familiar, but that's about it, you know.
It's like friends of the family that you don't really know.
Yeah, it's like your uncle's friend. You know, that's basically what it's like. Yeah, it's like, it's, you know, loose relationship.
Enchantress. I seem to recall hearing of her, though I've never actually laid eyes upon her. I've heard many things. I think once I even heard her being referred to as a rabid whore. Yeah.
A rabbit whore?
A rabid whore. But I do not know whether this is true.
I mean, it's lucky that you know, you're not a loyalist, William. Otherwise, that might actually infuriate you.
Yeah.
But
I'm just kind of like actually scared, like looking over my shoulder, like thinking there's owls here in this. Like,
can you make me like a? It would be your clarity isn't. Is it blank still?
yeah, I am all healed up on clarity.
Yeah, so it would be wit, composure, and then you get +2.
Wit, composure, +2, and I think I got another bonus.
Yeah, you have a lot of bonuses to that.
Yeah,
but you can check out the window.
I think it's generally 13 dice.
Yeah. Okay.
I just copy and paste Airvox. Nine successes.
You can see from the window that there are some birds, like sitting on like the rooftop of one building from, like, maybe, you know, like half a street away.
Mm-hmm.
But they look like normal birds, and then they just fly away. But you know, maybe it's unclear. You know, well, they could have been spies. Mm-hmm. Any animal could be. But you
kind of gonna glare and like.
You didn't notice anything supernatural about them, but there are birds. Like, you see some. You notice a lot of these animals that are like scurrying around, like they're, you know, there are birds on the rooftops. You know, they're you know, animals that might be moving around in the streets that you can see from the window, but nothing that you recognize as like supernatural.
Yeah, I'll just be careful what you say. He has many spies.
I almost want you to roll me clarity, just because you're getting like really paranoid.
All right.
But I'll make it like a chance die. I won't be like super, you know, intense about it.
All right.
Only if you get like a 10. But usually when changelings start doing stuff that's kind of crazy, I start making them real clarity. Okay, it's like, yeah, now you're getting paranoid.
Fine.
Yeah, no, so nothing. But you kind of sound paranoid to them. But you're like, watch out, they could be anywhere.
Yes, I heard that too. That she was a treacherous wench. Spies. A snake in the grass.
So, sorry, there was a cut for a moment. What did he say?
He was saying spies. You know, she uses animals as spies, that sort of thing.
Oh, so that explains the all sooner. I give a glance at Willem. This owl you wanted to kill was a spy, wasn't she? Wasn't it?
Yes, she was. She was someone I knew in her forest.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear.
It is fine. Better that she has died so I may live.
Why would she want to spy you?
I imagine she sent out scouts looking for me after I escaped.
Are you still watching the window, by the way? As you're like, are you just do you turn away?
Yeah, I'm kind of just imagining like he doesn't like look away from the window, kind of thing. Like,
okay. So as you're speaking, you see it's not really an animal that you would recognize. Maybe like a lizard. It's sort of red colored, crawls up the side of the window.
May I attempt a perception roll to see if I see it?
No, you can see it pretty clearly. It's like right up against the window. It's kind of small, but it's there.
Then I will use.
You're just not sure what it is. Yeah. Okay. So you want to use Auspex on it? Sure. Okay. Go ahead. I will get that ready. You only have the first level, right?
Yes.
I'm just confirming. Okay. Go ahead. First use is free. So you do get this.
Is Eravok eating his meat?
Crap, 0 success.
0 successes. You do you want to make that into a dramatic failure?
No, not this time.
No. All right. Just wanted to ask. You try to. So what happens is you do try to focus on it, but as you're doing that, it skitters up the window and it goes out of view for you. So it's probably like on the roof now. It starts like crawling up the wall and it's moving very quickly.
Okay.
William's going to kind of leap off the table and like head outside to.
Okay. Cool. So you head outside. What do you do once you're outside of the haven? It's dark.
He's going to try to use his 7 leagues leap and catch the thing.
Okay, you wouldn't be able to really catch it, but you could get up onto the roof with that.
All right, then I will.
Costs you a glamour, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have boots newly stolen.
So you spend your glamour, right? So you can do that. I'm not going to make you roll, but because you're not under any pressure, so you jump onto the roof of Lisa's haven. You don't cause any damage. It's like you just.
Yeah, I superhero land.
Yeah, it's not like you break, the flooring or the tiling of the roof. So it's not a big,
Watch out for loose tiles!
But you land on the roof of the house, and you can because your perception is so good, you could probably see this thing kind of skittering around, maybe like crawling between parts of the tile, like not trying to get not trying to crawl inside, but just like crawling between tiles and like kind of maybe hiding behind. I'm not sure if there are like there's a chimney, but like getting behind cover, getting behind part of the building, kind of crawling around.
I would like to try to grab it.
Okay, that's gonna be. Strength brawl, please, and then I will have it make a roll as well.
All right. Do I add my unarmed damage for this?
Damage? No. It's a grappling maneuver.
Okay, so I don't get my +1 for lethal maim.
No, I don't think so. It's for damage only.
Yeah, I will spend a point of willpower because.
Okay, sure.
My
Gonna spend willpower as well.
4 successes.
Okay, I'm rolling mine now. Okay. Counting mine now. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It tries to jump out of your grasp, but you manage to cup it between your hands.
Mm-hmm.
It actually when you catch it, it actually starts. You feel like a slight singe of like pain as you're holding it, like it's hot. Like like it's like a hot potato or something. Like it feels really warm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might start burning your fur if you keep like grabbing it.
Yeah. I am going to just chuck it onto the pavement below.
Okay, so let me make there's a thing for throwing. I have to go check the rules for that real quick. Because you have 1 control and then you get, it's just going to be let's say, I'm going to double check the rules. I'm not sure if it'd be strength or dex in athletics, but it is throwing. So it would be, exactly.
If it was storms, it'd end up in the States.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just need to go check what throwing is real quick. I don't remember.
Isn't it athletics?
Yeah, no, here we go. It's grappling and then damage. Okay, so you're trying to throw it, right?
Yeah.
So that's take the grapple as unarmed. Okay, so it's going to be strength athletics.
All right. That is actually a lot more dice than. So I think that's actually without the willpower. That's the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, that would be 6 dice instead.
Yeah, and then I'll give you like a +1 as well because you're giving up the control.
All right, so that is 7 dice then. Okay.
Yeah.
That is only 2 successes.
2 successes? Okay. It smashes against the tile pretty hard and just kind of rolls around. And you can see like singes of smoke and then maybe like a little bit of fire kind of spark up from it as it hits the floor. Or not the floor, but the tile. Like it rolls over.
Do I have any sources of water nearby?
On the roof? No.
All right.
You're a wolf. Lift your leg.
Please don't.
Anyone else going to come out here and investigate this thing?
Yeah, what is everyone else doing right now?
I am coming out to see what the hell is going on.
Well, Eravok wasn't really paying attention to the freaking thing to begin with.
Right.
I suppose Eravok is still eating.
Well, I mean, it's up to them what they're doing.
Yeah,
they might have finished at this point. Yeah.
Well, before I go out, I tell him I am gonna check what is going on. please be my guest and stay to finish your meal. And then I join Willem outside.
Okay. So you make your way outside, and you see up on the rooftop there's William. You see him throw something, and there's like a small bit of flame, like wafting up from the rooftop.
Wait, flame?
Yeah.
I roll frenzy?
Yep. I was gonna say you're gonna have to roll frenzy.
Great.
So.
Well, let's hope I have better luck than the first roll.
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
By the way, does that flame count as a perform a trick within the element?
That's a good question. If because the thing is, you'd need to manipulate the actual flame for it to be a trick. Like you're not, it'd be like if you were smoking a pipe and you did something with the pipe. Like this is more, it's just generating it. It's not, if you wanted to perform a trick, you'd need to like manipulate the flame in some way.
Okay, 2 questions.
Sure.
Do I get a bit because I got a frenzy roll? I think frenzy rolls could give you a bit.
Yeah, I think so. But first, I have to see. I don't remember. I don't remember actually if you get a beat for frenzy.
I will let you check then.
Okay, I'll check that first. I want to roll the frenzy first. So can we do that?
Yes, that gets me to my second question. Do I have a penalty?
Yeah, you have a few penalties here because it's resolve composure, and then it's destruction of important property, so that's -1, and then it's
Wait,
and then the other one is
you destroyed something?
it's effective, because your house is being damaged by this.
Oh.
What, the house is on fire?
No, but the idea, like when he threw it, it did damage the tile. So, or normally it'd be like, so it's going to be -2. 1 from the fire and then 1 from the, now they're fighting on top of your house.
I didn't throw it on the roof. I threw it onto the ground.
Oh, okay. So you threw it down. Okay, so it would probably take more damage from that then.
Yeah. Off the roof onto the ground.
Okay, so only -1 then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, when I say pavement, I mean the road. Like.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to see if it takes more damage from that then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was kind of surprised it like survived, because I was like, oh.
Okay, no, so it's probably gonna take more damage from that.
It's like freaking getting knocked off the roof in Killer Instinct. Too bad there ain't a car down there to land.
Yeah, it's like so yeah, it is, but it does kind of spark up a little bit of flame, so that's why they're rolling frenzy. But it does seem to be squirming around on the ground. It doesn't seem to be like a huge threat, but it does cause the fire, which immediately like freaks Lisa out.
Okay, so what is my penalty then?
-1.
All right.
And then I'm gonna go check on the. I'm gonna go check on the frenzy real quick to see if you get a beat for that, because I don't think you do, but I will check.
With your knowledge, you realize that it is a rare elemental salamander.
Hey, shut up!
You fool! It is extremely bad luck to.
Let's see. Some conditions provide beats. Blah blah. It doesn't say. It says attachment, so it doesn't say anything about frenzy though.
Okay, my bad. I could have sworn it was the case. Sorry.
I'll keep checking. You still need to roll either way.
I will make the roll, sure.
Yep.
So 4d10. Let's see. 1 success.
Okay, so that's good. That means you don't frenzy, at least for right now.
But I do get condition.
Yes, you do get condition. I think in this case it might be more of a. Let's see, success. You get tempted.
Okay.
And that's how you get beats from it, I think. Oh, no. Yes. Okay, sorry. I'm reading it right now. It says when the character enters frenzy, you gain a beat. Yes. Okay, so you are correct.
Okay.
It's not under it's weird because it's not under the beat conditions on the beat section, but it's right here under frenzy, which is really stupid.
Yeah.
I wish that was more clear, but yeah, you're right. It's actually in the section, but the weird thing is with Bedlam, they actually mention it in the under the experience section, but here they don't.
Okay, so I get the tempted condition. Got it.
Yep.
And I get a beat. All right.
Yeah. So William, what do you do after you throw it off of the rooftop?
I check to see if it's still alive, and if it is, I will.
It's still alive. Yeah, it's squirming around.
Okay. I'll try to take the nearby fire and make it into a javelin.
So, like the fire that's coming up from it, you want to like form it into a javelin. Okay, you don't get the loophole, but you can still do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a large fire, but you could form it into a javelin. That would just take you to 2 moves effectively.
Yeah. Actually, I have my thingy where would that do anything? My wind cut? No, that probably wouldn't. That just makes it so I roll especially well with 3 instead of 5s.
Right. It doesn't help you here. But you can start forming a javelin. I'm not sure for Lisa if you succeed. Does that mean you don't frenzy again, or do you have to keep rolling?
It means I succeed in controlling the frenzy right now, I think.
Right. I'm just looking.
But the tempted condition means I get I'm a -1 penalty to the next frenzy roll.
Okay, got it. So in this case, the fire kind of dies down because William is like now kind of forming it in his hands, and I don't think that would. You know what? No, I think it would still start provoking your frenzy because the fire's still around.
So I have to make another roll.
It's reflexive, so you can still take other actions, but you're going to make the roll again. Yeah.
You really want me to go frenzy, don't you?
No, I don't. But this is just what would happen.
I don't.
Willpower. So you can hold it off with willpower though.
Okay, I will.
Okay. So you're able to hold it off for now. And I won't necessarily make you roll for that. You just need to spend a willpower.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and you're yelling at William like, "What are you doing?" Like,
I'm going to kill it.
Did you have to use fire for that?
When like the fire was around.
You can you start forming the javelin into your hands now. So you're holding this like flaming javelin. You have to roll to be able to use it though.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a present survival wild.
Yep.
All right, so that is
the 2 glamour, right?
Yes, I did spend the 2 glamour.
Okay, just making sure. So then you rolled a dice pool.
Yeah. Sorry, so that's 6 dice. Three successes.
3 successes, very nice. It doesn't count as an exceptional, but you do get the regular success. So that means you can form a weapon, basically. And since you got extra successes, you can choose how you want to modify its traits. So I'm assuming you want to. I'm assuming you want to actually increase the maximum of 3 successes. So if you want, you can choose. I think the only thing you'd really need to do here was increase the damage.
Mm-hmm.
So you can increase it to like a pretty big, +4 if you want. Or no, it's plus 2 because you need the 1 left over. So you get
Hold
a +3.
Dog walked into my room.
Okay.
Stop that. Lock this door. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
My door sucks, so like the dog can just headbutt it and open it.
Yeah, the spear actually starts at 2, so that means that you end up with a +4 weapon.
Wow. Well, then I'm just going to throw the spear at it.
Okay, cool. So that's going to be a strength plus brawl, or no, strength plus. Is it? I think it's
Athletics.
Dex plus athletics, or no?
Yeah.
Is it strength? I had to check. Thrown.
I think it's Dex actually, because
Yeah, I remember it being Dex. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
Dex. Yeah, Dex plus athletics -2.
All right, so it's still 5 dice.
Yeah, Dex plus athletics -2. Oh, what's your strength, by the way? I can check if you get another penalty from the weight.
My strength is 2.
Okay, so yeah, you'd take another penalty from the weight, so it'd be minus 1 more. So 4 dice, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
That's 1 success.
1 success. Okay. So what that means is I'm going to check to see if it gets, knocked unconscious by that. Real quick. Okay. No. So it basically... So you throw this javelin of fire towards it, and it seems to basically be, normally it would just, melt or be completely emulated by this sort of thing. But as soon as the fire impacts it, it just disperses and kind of flares up around it.
Let me get frenzy roll.
Yeah, you're gonna be continually frenzying. So
I'm sorry.
you so Lisa, you're gonna roll. It's actually more intense. So now you're taking a -2 penalty to your willpower roll.
In addition to the tempted condition,
Yes.
so that would be -3. Great.
Correct.
All right, well, that leaves me with 2 dice.
Okay.
To be fair, William doesn't know anything about vampires, so it's like, oh, what? You
Yeah.
don't like fire?
What's wrong with you? Ah!
Seriously.
Wow.
1 successes.
Nice. This is pretty epic, actually. So, like, this raging fire is billowing up outside, and you're managing not to frenzy. So you're managing to hold your ground and keep your cool. And you can still take other actions if you choose.
Okay.
Beyond just, fighting off the frenzy, because the roll is a reflexive. So.
Well, for starter, I call my staff and tell them to put out that damn fire before it burns the entire house.
Okay, so that's what you're telling William.
All right, I will.
Actually, I was telling that to my staff.
Oh, the staff. Okay, so they're kind of mobilizing now to kind of take they're getting water. They're gonna try to put the fire out. They get buckets.
Okay, and as for fire is lethal to us.
Oh. All right.
I mean more lethal than it is to humans.
I will note that.
Mental note.
Mhm.
Fire bad. So this iguana-looking thing is now on fire, and it looked like you made the fire bigger when you threw it at it. So what are you planning on doing now?
All right, I'm just gonna try to bite this thing's head off. Like,
Okay, sure. It's a little bit difficult for you to do that because now it's on fire, but you can try to bite it.
I'm gonna take the attack and their damage.
So it's gonna be you're gonna roll your strength plus roll, and it's gonna be -4.
Oh, I'm just not gonna take damage. Like,
well, this is on top of because it's difficult for you to bite it because now it's on fire. So like you're and it actually seems to be moving around more now.
Okay, I'll spend a willpower on this because that would be a chance die.
Sure. Okay.
Ugh. So I at least get 3. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay,
that's. I've gotten another dice because of my lethal main and my weapon upgrade.
That's for when you that's added just to the damage now.
Oh, okay.
So it would just count as extra damage.
I see.
So yeah, it's automatic.
All right.
So I'll mark that now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it seems now to be very, you slice through it, and it lashes out with flame at you. You're going to take a point of lethal damage as the flame rages outward toward you, burning your fur and but not doing any major, internal or external damage, mostly on the outside. It hurts though. It's kind of mostly just squirming around at this point and kind of jumping. The staff comes in, they start throwing water on top of it, and it steams. So now the fire is mostly dissipated. So Lisa can sort of relax for the most part. They might still be they're still tempted, but the actual need to frenzy immediately is now fading as they see the fire kind of go up into steam.
Okay. So I'm calming down very well. I'm sorry I yelled at you, women, but look, we kindred really are afraid of fire, and when we see it, it can make us lose control.
As you see the steam bubbling up, or boiling upwards, the water just sort of starts to boil, and the creature just sort of starts skittering between the legs of your staff, and they start panicking.
William's gonna give chase to it.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna roll again. It's gonna be this time just -2 to your roll.
All right. Yeah. That's 2 dice. So just thinking, do I want to spend my last willpower on this?
Let me check if the wound penalties apply to defense. I don't remember. I'll check because then it might just be no penalties. I'll check real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, so I have to check. Wound penalties. Wound penalties. If your character all actions except stamina rolls, but I don't know if it applies to defense.
All right. Well, I can upgrade my attack with talon wings and ignore fatigue.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, that's not. Yeah, it's more of an issue for it than you. You're not wounded.
Sorry. Well, I took a point of lethal, so that's why.
Yeah, no, that's not a big deal.
All right.
The defense measures. No, I don't think so. It just is actions, so it's not your defense. Unless it's dodging. Like if it was dodging, then it would be,
Yeah. Yeah, I will just roll my base to try to save my willpower.
Okay.
0 successes.
Okay, so you try to leap towards it, and it basically leaps forward in sync with you, so you don't catch it, and now it's kind of crawling through the doorway, and it's making its way into the dining room, crawling around on the table, and like starting to light some of the candles that aren't normally lit in the room with its tail, basically, and Eravok can see it as he's eating, like crawling around on the table and burning the tablecloth. But I don't think they're here. So what do you guys do? Or what does Lisa do in that situation?
Well, I am trying to get inside the house to stop that thing.
Okay.
I don't want it to burn my house.
It doesn't seem to actually be like causing any major fires, but it's just lighting up anything that's flammable. I'm not going to make you roll for frenzy again unless you want to.
Actually, I will do something else.
Okay.
I will roll. Well, I didn't want to spend Vitae on that, but whatever. I will roll Auspex.
Sure.
I really want to see what that thing is.
Sure. So you can roll Auspex again. I'm going to say just -1 because it's moving. It's not really very easy for you to get a hold on, but I'm not going to give a massive penalty.
So 6d10.
Yep.
Oh, much better.
2 successes. Okay. So you asked me the question.
Okay. So who here is who here has hostile intentions?
There doesn't. You don't. So what you notice is besides the flares of flame and energy that you sense, and your beast is actually trying to like, you're having a difficulty like focusing on it because you just instinctively want to look away from it. But you notice that it's not actually like a hostile, like raging flame. It's more like a calm. It's more like a candle flame when you see it in the imagery of the Auspex. You see it more like a candle flame than like a raging fire. So you realize that it's not actually hostile.
All right. Well, this is risky, but whatever. I try to calm it down, to reassure it.
Do you have animal ken?
I do actually.
Okay, I'll allow that then. You can roll either manipulation or presence depending on how you want to calm it down.
Well, it's the same anyway. I have 2
Okay.
weakness.
So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and I will spend the willpower.
Sure. It's spending willpowers.
Eravok's back.
Oh, good.
You have a friend.
Okay, I have the difficulty for you.
I must have made a mistake. Oh no!
Oh! Very nice. So what you do actually recognize as you're calming it down, as Eravok mentioned, it is definitely something you would recognize out of an occultic manual. It's some sort of a salamander creature, like a creature out of a folktale or an occult manual of some kind. It definitely seems to fit the description of a salamander, elemental creature of flame. And you manage to, with your vampiric presence and your power you exude over it, it seems to be weakened. So when you approach it and you kind of basically kind of maybe you can't like hold the flame near it, but maybe you would have Eravok kind of corral it towards you, and after you kind of maybe impose your presence upon it, it actually starts to calm down, and the flames that it's generating also die down with it, and it kind of submits to your you're not dominating it per se or using animalism, but it just seems to kind of curl around your leg and become more friendly as you kind of impose your more seductive sort of bestial nature towards it.
Oh, curl around her leg. I thought that's bigger than I thought this thing was.
It's tiny. It's like the size of a large like lizard.
Oh, so
I was like, those are two completely different things. Like, it's tiny. It's the size of a large lizard. Like,
so can I?
Well,
can
large
I-
lizard is in. It's probably like like this big. It's not. It would probably be able to crawl around maybe part of her ankle. It's not like it would crawl on her whole leg.
Can I pick it without suffering damage or going into frenzy again?
You try to touch it, and you notice that it's kind of like touching like a warm rock. It's not like hot, but it can't just remove the body heat. But it's not dangerous for you to touch at this point. You seem to have calmed it down.
Okay. So do I have an idea of what comfortable environment would be for that kind of creature?
You would probably want to put it somewhere. You would probably actually want to put it somewhere where it's just, it wouldn't really be very comfortable in room temperature. Usually with these types of things, you would have it near like a warmer environment, or, it's been known, they're known to be involved in rituals of flame or places of fire. And since you wouldn't really be comfortable putting it in that kind of position, you'd realize that it definitely doesn't belong here.
I was like, put it in the oven.
That would probably work. Oven would actually be a very good place to put it. And when oven, or you could just have a pit that you used to cook with, like like an old style kind of oven. That'd be great.
Okay, well, I will arrange for something like that to put it for now.
Okay, so you just kind of put it in the oven.
Maybe not the oven, because I don't want my staff to cook it by mistake.
Well, it doesn't seem to be burned when you put it underneath. Well, you don't put it underneath, but when your staff puts it underneath the flames, it doesn't seem to burn or cook.
Yeah, I stabbed this thing with a fire spear, so.
Okay, well, I put it in the oven for now, and I tell my staff to not touch it at the moment.
By the way, that's what I kind of thought this thing was, like the size of this thing.
Okay, just give me a sec. I'm trying to see if I want to give you a condition. But instead of giving you a condition, I'll just say, yeah, you've tamed this thing. So if you want to mark that on your sheet, and you.
Wait, maybe I can get the bounded condition then.
Let me check that one.
It's in the Chronicle of Darkness.
Oh, okay, it's in that
Yeah,
one.
I think I would need that for like a dog if I want like the canine.
Give me a sec, I'll check it. That's probably a good suggestion. I just need to actually.
Mhm.
Search is not okay. Come on. I wish this would work. Can you give me a page number or?
Oh, right. Sorry. Give me a moment. I will give you when I find the damn book.
I can get to the codex. I can actually look up bounded. Hold on.
Okay, so
I
bounded.
don't see bounded.
Bounded.
Oh, bonded. Okay, sorry. It was your accent. I heard bounded. I was like, that's not.
Sorry. It's
No, it's fine.
288.
Yep, I got it. I misheard the word you used. That's all. Okay, because I heard bounded. I was like, okay, that's not bonded. Okay, I think that would make sense. Yeah, no, that would be fine. So you're bonded with this with the salamander.
Yes, I got a pet salamander now, which is really ironical considering I am afraid of fire.
You're not really sure where it came from either. It's kind of weird. Like it just showed up.
Well, at least not. You have a weapon in case vampires come and attack you.
But I do need to transition to the next scene.
Oh, yes.
So we can move on from that. I want to. We were going to do a hunting scene, and then we were going to have Charlotte be in the background of that. So, do you still want to do that scene, or do you want to move right to the court? Yeah, that's probably closer to the size, Kara. That's pretty close. That's more what I was thinking. Yeah, that size.
Ah,
Okay, so then personally, I would like to do the hunting scene because I am really low on
Okay.
vegetarian.
We'll do it.
You guys should probably do the hunting scene because I'm gonna be busy with singing for a little bit. Just had to do sing IRL.
Oh, okay. If that's the case, then we could definitely do it. Okay.
I know I need to hunt now after.
So we'll play out a scene then.
Oh, by the way, do I get anything for hurting myself to protect the house?
Is that part of the bargain?
I believe so.
I have to check. Bargain. I think so. I'm not sure if you're talking about your needle, your thread, or your bargain.
I have my bargain.
Okay, so the bargain I'll check because I can look at that real quick.
Yeah, once per story, gain a beat when you take great risk or suffer harm while fulfilling.
Oh yeah, perfect. So yes, you get a beat then.
Yay!
I'm surprised that you didn't go into. That was pretty awesome, actually. At least it didn't go into frenzy that whole time. That's pretty cool. Like, to be honest, like. That's pretty epic to me, honestly. But yeah, you also get a beat because you're the bodyguard. And since the story's going to wrap up pretty soon, then the next story, you'll be able to do something else really cool.
Yeah.
Although you didn't actually help this time, really, but.
So my bad, I don't get beat from frenzy because it happens only if I enter frenzy and.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So it's only if you enter frenzy, but you still.
So it's like
yeah.
When I go crazy from.
For you, it's bedlam, and you can choose to do that at any time by accident if you want. Anyway, you guys were going to go to the fighting pit, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And since there's only 3 of you, I don't really see a problem with just actually playing out the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then doing it in some kind of special way. Because I was assuming that there would be 2 other extra people here that we could probably work something out. But since there's only 3 of you, I think I could just do it with the 3 of you.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with Lisa. So how do you want to feed in this instance? Because you bring William. He's mostly kind of dealing with the people who are actually fighting. But you're, I'm assuming, in the crowd. You bring him to the... So let me set the scene a little bit better.
So I leave him to find some restful guy to feed from. Right. And well, I will put my striking look merits to use.
Good. That's
I will stand there and look pretty and try to get someone to get interested in me. And if that works, I will get him in a dark alley so I can.
Okay. So that'll be pretty basic. It's just going to be manipulation plus persuasion, and then your striking looks.
Very well. So manipulation 2, persuasion 2, striking looks 1. So that would be 5 dice.
Yeah.
Let's hope that works.
I thought striking looks was +2. Is it still plus? Is it +1? I'll double check because I thought it was +2.
By the way, do I get a glamour for using wrath to successfully further the goal?
For the last scene, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it says plus. Oh yeah, for 1 die it's +1. Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't take the full striking look. Sorry.
I'm used to people always taking the full one, so it's weird.
And I understand them, but I didn't have enough point for everything.
Right. For some reason, the roll's not working.
Yeah, I didn't get it either. It didn't work immediately, sooner or later either. Maybe I did something.
I think it's sometimes legs, from what I've.
That's weird because it hasn't lagged before. Why? No. Try it.
Let's see if
Yeah.
yeah, it's not
No,
working for
yeah,
me
no,
either.
now it's not working. I think the dice bot is offline. I need to fix it.
Don't we have another dice bot then? Like,
Yeah, because it says it's offline, I think.
which one's the one that?
The other one is you do a dot. You do a period. But I want to try to get the sidekick online because it's the one I like using.
Sidekick's online on my end.
Oh, that's weird because I don't see it.
It's under Shuri.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it now. That's weird. Why is it not working? I'll try rolling something. No, okay, it's not working at all. That's weird.
Oh.
That's a pretty big delay. That's like a whole minute.
Mhm.
Wow. Jesus.
Oh, boss got the same result.
That sucks. The lag is massive.
Yeah, but at least we got the results.
So proof successes. So yeah, you can very easily. How much blood were you trying to get from this person?
Well, I can only get 1%, correct?
That's correct.
Then I will only take 2 vitae because I'm pretty sure that if I take more, I risk putting him into a coma.
Right. I was gonna say 2 would make the most sense.
Then I take a bite and I take a bite and I drain 2 vitae.
Sure.
And
They're just kind of.
I don't think it's important, but he should get the swoon condition. But
Yeah, you can take it if you want. It's not important. You're right.
No, I mean him.
Oh, for him, he gets swooned. Yeah, no, it's not.
I don't think it's important, but
No.
because I don't think he will come back later.
No, he's just out of it, and you kind of drain him to the point where he's just kind of laying there in the alley, kind of confused. Meanwhile, we see William observing the fight, and you're going to try to drain glamour off of them.
Yes.
So that would what action are you taking to kind of urge the fight onward? Are you just like cheering, or how does it work?
Let's see. I think I'm going to That's a good question. I don't think cheering, but maybe like kind of jeering, like kind of go like Cena sucks. Cena sucks.
I got you. So you're like making fun of the okay. So that's gonna
John
be
Cena sucks.
Yeah,
gonna be manipulation and probably intimidation.
Okay, well, I have a lot of points in intimidation, so
Sure.
that's 1, then 3 plus the 4 from my summer mantle. Then I believe I have another plus 2.
Is the glamour that you get for your summer, is it per scene or is it just it just gain 1 glamour, right? So it's
yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're just gonna get automatically 1 also.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, does my Air of Menace do anything?
Air of Menace.
Yeah.
What page is that?
Let me look. I just got it on my thingy. I didn't write down the page number.
Okay, because that would help me for when I'm looking it up.
You know, I am just thinking, shouldn't I roll frenzy when I drink his blood?
In this case, you don't need to worry about it.
Okay, I trust you on that.
Unless you were really hungry.
Well, I was only with 2 vitae left, so...
Okay, yeah, you're gonna need to roll frenzy. Yeah, you're gonna need to roll frenzy then, but I want to have him roll. We're doing his roll, then I'll make you roll frenzy.
It's HL 41.
Okay. Oh, Hurt Locker. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay.
I will go. I have to get that book open real quick. Give me a sec, because I have that one.
The short version is you have a history of violence up your sleeve, +2 to menace others.
Yeah, so that would be +2. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let me think. See if I got any other bonuses to intimidation.
I opened it with. Open it with Chrome, please. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, I will. 1, 2, 3. So okay. So.
What page?
41.
41. Okay. No, you still get the +2. I'm just looking at it, so I know what it says for next time. Menace. Yeah, force compliance, such as with intimidation rolls. Sure. I mean, normally it wouldn't normally apply, but I'm okay with this here because it's you're trying to like rile them into fighting.
Yeah. God damn it, only 2 successes.
2 successes, so you get 2 more glamour.
All right, so that's 3 because of the automatic.
Yep.
All right.
Meanwhile, Lisa is risking frenzy, so I will go check on them.
Half now.
I have to find frenzy again. Let me go to frenzy. Frenzy. So in this case, it's going to be -2 to your roll because you were hungry.
When I already have -2 from Tempted Gun.
Yeah, so it's going to be -4, yes.
Well, unless I am insanely lucky, I am probably gonna H him.
That's fine with me. It's not going to, it might cause a problem. We'll see.
I will still spend 1 willpower to rise. I will spend 1 willpower to rise the roll to 1 dice.
Okay.
My last willpower, but I am willing to do it.
Let's see. It says when you spend willpower, you can just resist it.
I think it allows me to resist it for 1 turn, and next turn I have to make the roll with 1 die.
Right.
Just 1 die.
Yeah, because it says so you don't get a bonus. It says specifically you don't add the +3, so it just you fight it off temporarily.
Yeah,
And
by
you
that
can,
point,
and at that point you can just walk away.
Okay, so I get 2 die. So that means I must make a roll with 2 dice, correct?
Well, you fed a little bit off of him, so you went up from 2 to 4.
Yes.
Yeah, so then you would still have to. Yes, that's correct. So you
Okay.
have to roll for frenzy again.
2 dice.
Yeah, but the point is now you're not targeting that person, so you might just end up biting someone else.
Okay, so
Which might end up being worse because you stopped yourself from killing that guy. Now you might attack someone else.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Seriously?
You are a beast, and not in the bad way. That is impressive. Lisa is so good at controlling themselves. This is actually very entertaining to me. So William, what you would see is this scene of basically of you're kind of feeding off of this. You feel the anger and the emotion rise as these 2 people in the ring. They keep fighting. They're fighting. They're beating each other up. There's blood. There's rage flowing off of them. You kind of take a little bit off the top. There's a little bit of a hesitation from them, and then you see one of the other guys just like wail into one of them, as he's like, has a momentary lapse of concentration from you draining them, and they just get pummeled pretty bad, and he falls onto the mat, and there's blood kind of staining the place, and and you, with your sharp senses, you hear Lisa kind of growling in the corner of the area, like near the alleyway, just like very kind of filled with rage and hunger, as they're able to hold it off for another turn, but you can tell that they're kind of in this mode of they need blood. And when the blood sort of splatters onto the mat, you can see them kind of, their vision kind of shifting like ferally towards the fighters in the ring and the blood that's there.
I'm actually going to go to Lisa and feed off her anger.
Okay, sure, I'll allow that. But
so we're at a arena.
Mhm.
it's more like a street fight, but they've set up like a small ring there. It's kind of going on like on the side of a street, but there's like a small ring that they've set up in the middle of the street.
Aravok's there too, right?
You can be there if you'd like to. You were invited, so you can also be there, and you would also notice Lisa kind of having this moment, and you're trying to feed off of Lisa. So I'll allow that, but then you have to tell me how you're, like, what action you're taking to provoke them. Because if you intimidate them, they might attack you. I'm just warning you of that right now.
Wait, who are you talking to? William or me?
I'm talking to William.
Let's see here.
Well, you can tell me what you're doing, and I'll give you a pool.
Yeah, I know. I just decided on what I'm doing.
Okay.
William doesn't know about the fiance, does he?
I don't think it was mentioned to you. No.
He might have heard it when I talked about it to the prince, but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would know because they mentioned it during the meeting.
Okay. So I wasn't gonna do like the kind of playful nip type thing of like,
ew. That's weird. Yeah, but you know that they have a fiance. Yes.
All right. Actually, do I even know what a fiance is? That is the question.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question.
I'm gonna assume you do.
Why? What did you want it to do?
I was going to do the.
No, they were gonna like nuzzle you and stuff, and I'm like, that's weird. Yeah, but you know they're getting married.
All right.
You fiend.
You know, you don't entirely forget everything from your human life, like, you know, basic knowledge that you have. You wouldn't just forget. Oh, yeah, because you'd be very familiar with that sort of stuff as a noble.
Mm-hmm. Actually, can I just I guess I can just kind of shove her kind of thing, like.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna shove her? Okay. I'm gonna call that strength plus brawl. But just for the sake of the pool, you're not gonna harm them, but it's the, you know, that's what you're doing. You're just shoving.
You know, I just checked something.
Sure.
When I got informations from Willem and Aravok about Faye, does that qualify as a lost piece of information or forbidden knowledge?
Yes.
Which one?
It'd be lost information, forbidden knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, then I guess I recover all my willpower since I have.
Yeah, because of your scholar. Yeah, you're right. So
Good,
you get your willpower back. Yeah. Good call on that one.
So that's another 3 for my glamour?
Yes, that'd be 3 for you. But now they're kind of focused on you instead of the blood, so they need to roll frenzy, but they only have 1 die now because of all the blood and the.
It doesn't help that I'm draining their anger, like.
It would actually reduce their willpower by 1.
Oh.
So it'd be worse.
I'm sorry.
Actually, I think I have only a chance die because the tempted condition.
Right. Yeah. It's effectively like -5 because of the condition.
Oh wait, no. I no longer am hungry because I have 4 vitae now.
It says 4 or fewer.
4 fewer. I thought it
Yeah.
was. I thought it was 2 or fewer.
It says well, starving is 2 or fewer. Hungry is 4 or fewer.
Oh, okay. So, but still chance die. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I will win that one.
No.
Sorry, I keep on trying to help, but it's like, oh no, I don't know anything about vampires.
Just hope I,
Push the angry vampire.
let's just hope I don't get.
It's a good thing that you're fighting during the street fight. Otherwise, people might think this was suspicious.
Okay, failure this time.
Okay, so now you get a beat for frenzy, and you're going to attack William. Assuming William's okay with that, like out of character. Okay, so you're gonna make like a bite attack against him. So it's gonna be strength brawl, and then I think you get a penalty, or you get a bonus from frenzy. I think.
I do, but I think he is not in danger because I have 0 dots in brawl.
Okay, that's good.
And I have 1 dot in strength.
What is the bonus you get from frenzy?
+1 because
+1 from your blood potency, right? It says blood potency to okay. So then that's gonna be
that leaves me with 1 dice.
good. Okay, well at least you're not gonna okay, this is good.
Okay, so but do I have to apply his defense or do
it's contested, so he's probably gonna just restrain you or something.
Okay.
Yay, with my 7 defense.
But so you roll your strength brawl as well, Dustin, because they're trying to grab you.
Okay. Strength brawl, all right.
Yeah, they just charge toward you. Ooh, 1 success, so that means they could. You don't get any somehow. Then we're gonna have, or if you tie, because if you tie, then I would say it would be them.
Oh, 1 success.
1 success. Okay, so you tie, so that means basically she does get a hold of you, and she's gonna try to bite you now. So I think it's a lethal bite attack. I'm gonna check the rules for ties real quick because I don't remember exactly how it works. It did say something about tie. I think it's the higher pool, but I'm gonna double check. Grapple is during each turn. Blah, blah, grapple during the 2 characters' initiatives. Take cover. Oh, well, it said something about ties in the Changeling book. I guess I have to look there.
Wasn't it re-rolls on ties?
That's what I'm looking. Hold on a sec. Result. Oh, this is for grapple required. Grapple. Blah blah. That's free. Take cover. Grab. On exceptional success. 1 action. All participants. Oh yeah, here it says. The character with the most successes chooses a grapple option, or 2 grapple. On a tie, the characters continue to grapple, but nothing else happens. So they do actually, so you guys are caught in this fight, basically. But I am gonna say that she can try to bite you still, just for the sake of being dramatic.
So
just for the sake of fuck you, Dustin.
So it's going to be, I think it counts as a +0 lethal attack. So you just get to roll the same pool, basically 1 die. Yeah.
Okay, 1 die. If I succeed, does the frenzy stop?
Yeah, it would stop if you succeed.
0 successes.
Okay, so do you want to take a dramatic on this one?
Yes, because I think it would actually go to good things this time.
So, in this case, what I'll say is you try to bite at him, and you're grabbing at him, and you're trying to bite him, and he just in this moment, your guys are grappling, and he just loses control, and he just throws you to the ground. So you're gonna take like a point of well, you're a vampire, so you wouldn't really take lethal from it. You would just take a point of 2 points of bashing.
2 points of bashing, got it.
And you take a beat, and you fall to the ground, and you're still frenzying. So you're like, you're trying to jump up towards him again after he pushes you off. But, so this is still going on. But
I would like to try to pin her.
okay, so you both have to roll again.
All right.
Get a room.
Yeah, people are gonna want
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so I don't think they're going to be able to beat that because they need a 10 and then a reroll. A 1. Okay, so what that means is they're holding onto you, but you're pinning them to the ground, and they're trying to bite at your body and like chomp into you, but you're like restraining them basically. And you're not really sure how to calm them down, but it's they're kind of in a state where they can't respond to you.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do to them now that you have them pinned? Because you can't keep them pinned forever. Even though you're much stronger than them, they're putting up a lot of resistance. They're struggling.
Mm-hmm. I think I actually have something that I can.
You cannot knock me out, unfortunately.
You could try to, beat her until she gets knocked out, but you'd probably be hurting her at that point.
Wait, I just realized.
Yeah.
I fell to frenzy, so I can resolve the tempted condition.
Yeah. So you do get another beat from that as well.
Okay.
Could I do this pounce? Spend a glimmer to contest presence plus weird versus composure plus tolerance, or freeze, or send fleeing with your gaze.
Was that the pounce? Was the one? I think you do that before you grapple them, but I'll check. What page is that on?
You act like I write these pages down.
It's helpful for me because that's how I look them up. I have it here though.
All right.
So you're doing this to lock eyes with them and cause them to freeze?
Yeah.
I'll allow it. Composure plus blood potency for Lisa then.
Wait, what?
They're using their Kith ability to basically like freeze you in terror.
Okay, I get it. I see. He's an hunter, correct?
So they're trying to turn your anger frenzy into a fear frenzy.
Okay, so that would be 4 dice for me.
Yeah, and then William, you roll presence weird.
I think that's 4 dice for me too, actually. So.
1 success.
All right.
Okay, hold on. My other group wants to know if I'm around.
2 successes.
Okay, so you win.
Good.
By the way, I'm going to be feeding off this fear now.
I think that's the first time I am actually happy to lose.
I think you can only. You already done it twice this scene. Normally it's once, so
right.
I'm already being nice by letting you do it twice. Because I did the same thing for Kara, but I don't think I'm okay with you. Just keep you don't do it repeatedly.
All right.
It has to be the first time I am actually happy to lose rolls.
Yeah. So what happens is you're super. So you move from just using like regular intimidation to this supernatural like presence that overwhelms them even in their frenzied state, and they kind of freeze up even though they'd normally be completely frenzied and uncontrollable. And just to speed things along, I'd say that it kind of cancels out their frenzy or either kind of shifts it into a more fearful state, depending on what you want.
Wait, actually, I think that's not possible.
Why isn't it possible?
Page 104. If a character tries to coerce to behavior contrary to the beast's desire, either via social actions or through disciplines, the effort fails.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I
see. Yeah, no, that makes sense, honestly. So, but I will say, so basically, what you do is you create this sense of what I'm saying is they're not actually like canceling out your frenzy. They're just kind of shifting it into a fear.
Oh, they do say that's possible. So
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like they don't stop you from frenzying. they just shifted it from a I'm going to attack people to now I'm going to run away frenzy.
Okay. Which
So
is not
they're shifting the focus of your frenzy. So and you spent the glimmer for that, right, Dustin?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So at that point you realize that you could let them go and they'll probably just start running.
Yeah, I will do that. And
okay. So basically, because your character's out of your control, Lisa, you just kind of spring out of William's grasp, and you just start running down the alleyway without any regard for where you're going.
I will actually give chase, not
not violently. You run past the guy in the alleyway on all fours, and he's just like, what? and then you end up kind of chasing them down an alleyway. I'm not going to make you guys roll. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say that you kind of corner Lisa while she's catching her. Well, she's not catching her breath, but she's just kind of hits like a dead end.
Okay. Do my frenzy stop now that I have accomplished what my beast wanted?
Yes.
Oh, thanks God.
You're still hungry, but you've stopped frenzying.
Okay.
What was that about?
Thank you, Willem. If you hadn't done that, I probably would have killed someone.
You might have killed him. I mean, you're not strong enough to, but in the moment, you're not really thinking about that.
So I turned to see. When I told you to not use fire in my house?
Mm-hmm.
That was why. We kindred have what we call the beast. Basically, it's that animal side inside of us that wants us to act like a monster, to kill and bestially attack everything. Usually, we keep it under control, but whenever we have strong emotion or when we are angry, we can lose control. That was what happened back then.
You notice as you're kind of having this conversation, there are a few people that are kind of moving around in the alleyway, trying to figure out what happened because you did cause a scene. So there are some people that are kind of following you to check out what's going on.
I figured we moved pretty far away because I can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There, you notice in the distance there are people kind of trying to figure out where you went. You attracted a lot of attention. And maybe you don't really know if there's anyone who's a monster hunter or anything in the audience, but you've definitely caused a scene. Mm-hmm. So there are people who are looking for you, and your sense, both of you have senses that are sharp enough to tell that you guys have attracted a lot of attention, and that if you don't leave, then you will probably get even more attention as things kind of compound.
We probably should get going.
Because there were a few dozen people who saw this happening in the middle of the street.
Agreed.
They are probably thinking this was the worst. This was the worst romance ever. But anyway, we should get going.
Agreed. William's going to head off.
Yeah. This is, for the record, this is the end of the second night. So the next thing I would cut to would be, and this is actually very important to note because we would cut to the third night. You guys would be invited to the courthouse to prepare for the trial. You guys would learn about the trial because you were all on the jury for the trial. So you would be asked as part of the summons to report to the courthouse.
Okay.
But and as part of the mail, you also see that in the paper there's a story, brutal, bloody murder at the boxing ring, and you at first assume that it is your fault, but it turns out that the murder was actually the man who was in the ring and not the man that you lured into the alleyway. But there are some suspicious. They say that there was mob activity. The police are investigating. People are being.
There could have been a double homicide that night.
People are being questioned. So they're assuming there was some. They heard that there was sounds of a riot, that there was violence, and it's being it's being put under investigation. So they might not find out that you guys were involved, but it's being investigated. So you've caused indirect sort of breach of the masquerade without really, not real. You guys haven't been discovered, but they've noticed that something happened, and they're not investigating you guys directly, but it could be bad if you don't kind of find a way to cover it up.
Yeah, I was gonna have Erebok, approach the promoter and fucking fight and whatnot.
So would you have done that like in character to start it up? Like, because I imagine all of you are kind of starting a hustle going on. Like, this is why it's a big scene.
Well, yeah. It's like I didn't want to interrupt the scene, but yeah.
Right.
Like,
but I can imagine
if
would have
Erebok
also
was
started.
there, he would have
I want to fight, and then
he would have tapped into his inner warrior.
Drops his mask right there.
Right. And then if you did that,
no, he doesn't drop his mask. It's more.
Yeah, I was just joking.
Yeah, if he had dropped his mask there, then we would have some serious problems.
Basically going with his needle and just sort of jumping in the
I mean, I can definitely imagine you might have gotten involved in a fight after the man who got murdered. So maybe you beat the hell out of that guy, and maybe there was a double. I don't know if you wouldn't have killed him. That would have been ridiculous, but you would have definitely, beaten him half to death.
There's rioting soccer fans.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys all caused a scene last night, and
I'm just remembering that one play by post game we tried to do on whatever with Robert.
Yeah. Yeah. The one time you fought like a vampire boxer. That was.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna pour all my fucking strength into this punch and break this guy's neck."
Yeah, that was bad. I think they were like a Bruja or something. Like they were actually like they were like a combat focused, and they had like brawling boxing, and then they used blood potency, blood surging, stuff like that, and then they hit with willpower too. So it was like really, really nasty die pool.
So this is a new night?
Yeah, this is a new night. So you have to spend vitae.
Oh crap! I have to spend 2 vitae actually.
Is it 2 for?
I'm gonna add another willpower. Oh, I'm actually maxed out willpower. Never mind.
Yeah, and then you all get 1 willpower back as well.
Do I get my glamour back?
And Ervak, you can take a willpower too, because you said you jumped in the ring, so I will give you.
Actually, it's only 1 vitae, but I must spend 1 more to heal the 2 bashing damage.
Right.
So I am back to square 1. Great.
Does my clarity damage heal itself overnight?
No, it doesn't heal unless you communicate with your touchstone in some way. I don't think, unless you find a contract to heal it, it doesn't go away.
Do I have a touchstone? Shit, wait.
I don't. Do you have one? I thought you were supposed to have one by default. So I guess you just never wrote one down.
Nope, never did.
Okay, so we'll have to.
Rolling for vampire.
We'll have to talk about. No, touchstones. Changelings have touchstones now too.
God damn it.
Well, let's talk about that. So, what is your touchstone like? What is your touchstone? Can you think of something that would kind of?
What's the definition of a touchstone to a changeling? Is it different from a vampire? Is it the same?
No, it's the same. Yeah.
Something that reminds them of their humanity.
Correct. Kind of anchors them to reality.
Yeah, Williams is home cooking.
It could be a person, place, or a thing, basically. So I was thinking the hospital, if you wanted, that could be the touchstone. That's kind of one thing I thought was an option.
The touchstone could be one of them. I guess I would imagine like a very normal setting, like maybe like a fire, like I don't know how to describe, like kind of like a homey setting, like a fireplace with maybe like a chair nearby.
It should be specific to your character though. So like, would it be your home? Like that'd be like because it has to be specific to you.
Like an extremely specific place.
Yeah, like it's impersonal to your character. So like, if it was a home, it would be your house, which is possible.
They don't have their house anymore though. I don't know.
That's why it would be. You could still have it as your touchstone, but it would be just difficult for you to access.
It's the log burning channel.
You can still go there, like you could still go to your house and get, touchstone benefits from that, but it would just be difficult for you to go there because you're not the doctor.
I guess. Yeah, I guess that works. I guess their home would work for now.
Your family home. So like where you
like a single book could probably be your touchstone.
Or a book, yeah, but it has to be a specific book.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe my diary that I have been writing in.
Sure. I mean, that's a little... Yeah, that actually does work. The diary would function as a touchstone, sure. It's a little easy, but, writing in your diary could get you clarity reduced. I could see that working out.
I mean, to be fair, mine's like home cooking, which is like...
I could
be a steak. It's like...
I mentioned I could still destroy that by having you eat something that's so terrible that you would never want to eat anything ever again. Like, I could totally imagine Princess doing something like that to you. Or if
yeah, but that's Princess being a bitch. So
or if you went into the hedge and you had goblin fruit and, like, ruined your taste. That kind of thing.
Okay, well, given, like, Fae bullshit, like...
Yeah, it could... No, I'm saying, like, you might think it... I'm just saying the reason I allow it is because there are ways for me to work around it. Like, otherwise it would be too broken. But your diary works because I could imagine you writing in your diary, reducing your clarity. But for now, you have already been writing pretty frequently. So unless you had a separate, interaction with your diary beyond just writing in it, then it would be, more reflecting on your diary. How long have you been writing in it? Just since you got into the mortal world, or did you keep the diary from before you were taken?
I'd say this diary, I would say that when she got back to the mortal world, she searched for a new book to make her diary because she used to write in one before she was taken, and she wants to take up that practice again. So that it turned into her touchstone when she arrived.
So that makes sense, yeah. I mean, if you had taken it with you into the hedge, it would have been a token or an icon. So it's better that you just got a new one.
Well, I imagine it would have been like taken away from her when she got into the hedge.
Yeah. So your original diary would be your icon, but now the current one you have now is your touchstone. So
it's probably like in my fetches room somewhere. Then
yeah, you have a new diary though. Mm-hmm. So I call it your new diary because then we'd know the difference between that and your old one. But yeah,
your diary, like.
So we figured that out. So I'm assuming all of you would go to the courthouse once you've been summoned.
Yeah, and hopefully they have a new junior for us.
What? Sorry?
Hopefully they have a new junior for us.
They don't mention anything about food in the summons, so you're not sure.
A shame. Okay.
Just ask for like a lunch break. Like
you could try to feed on someone on the way there, but it'd be difficult. You'd be rushing.
Gonna say, you feed off blood, right?
Yes. Why?
What, does it have to be anyone's blood, or could you feed off animals, or?
I can feed off animals for now. See, younger vampires can feed on animals, but as we grow stronger, we stop being able to do so, and we become only able to feed on humans. I have heard some of us can eventually only feed on other vampires, but to be frank, I don't know if that's correct.
I feel like between the time Mikhail might have told you for a fact that the prince is at that point. So,
I just had like an imagination of like William hunting down a squirrel and then Lisa drinking like a juice box. Like, it's like, is this what you people do? It's like, yes, of course.
So do you want to hunt an animal or a person?
I think she said she can no longer hunt from animals. So
Actually, I still can. I said I
Yeah.
still can, but I won't always be able to. At some point, I will grow strong enough that I no longer can. But
Are you
right now,
hunting you're not looking for anything super specific?
no, I am not.
Okay, so in that case, it's going to be a. Do you have survival?
I don't think I do.
I
You do
do.
have animal ken, so I'll allow that. It'll be, I'd say in this case, because you're trying to do it quickly, it'll be Dex animal ken, and you get a -1 because of all the factors combined.
Please do not make me eat a cat.
I can't make any promises. You're not looking for something specific, so you're just gonna find whatever you.
I guess. So let me see. Animal can plus what?
Animal ken plus Dex, and then you get -1.
Okay, so that will be 3 dice.
Yeah, because normally it's -2, but then you get +1 because hunting animals is easier.
Okay.
So it's -1.
Good success.
2 successes? Okay, that's very good. So what this means is, do you have anything against dogs? Because you said no cats. I'm not going to make you. But do you have anything against dogs?
To be frank, I have something against hurting animals in general.
Okay, so we won't describe in detail, but we'll just say you find an
What about a horse? I should be
horse.
able.
Yeah, horse is pretty common. Yeah, I'll say you could find a horse. You can get a lot of blood from a horse.
And without killing it.
Yeah. So let me actually check, because I think that would be is that extra blood that you could get? Like, I think you could take at least like 4 from a horse without being a big deal.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing like yeah, you seen those vampire bat pictures where like they're clinging to a horse like.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of imagining like that, like Lisa's just like on the side of a horse, like her teeth are in it, like.
You just find a horse that someone's abandoned and just start.
She's probably broke into a stable, I'm guessing.
Oh, or yeah, no, that makes even more sense. So you break into a stable, you bite a horse. But I'll say let me just roll. 1, 2, 4. Because you could get a lot more from a horse than you could from a person. So I'll just tell you how much you end up with.
I think, but I think animal blood has less value.
Yeah, it does. That's why I'm gonna tell you. Hold on.
Yes.
Okay. So you get, I'll say, probably you're not trying to kill it, right?
I am not.
Okay, so that'll be like, I'll say like 3 vitae.
Okay, thank you.
I know with Leon, I was gonna have him like basically have a blood harem kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, that's basically what a herd is.
It'd just be like a host club type person, like.
Yeah. So you have a quick. I'm not gonna make you roll frenzy again, so it's fine. But because once you have a good drink of this horse, you kind of calm down, and then you can stop yourself. I'm not gonna make you roll.
Thank you.
Just to save.
This is amazing. Give it a lick.
Just to save time. And the horse does seem pretty calm about this. So you're not hurting it.
Okay.
So in terms of, I don't support animal cruelty either. So I get, what you're saying. And because of the kiss, the horse doesn't appear to be hurt by this action. It's just kind of brought out of its normal routine. And after you finish, it doesn't seem to be bothered in any way. You might even pet it a little bit, and it just neighs weakly.
I do pet it.
And you're able to continue moving towards the courthouse.
Thank you, Willem.
You're welcome. When Willem's going to look at the horse, I don't know you, do I?
Can you speak to animals? I don't think you.
I can speak horse. Yes.
What?
You
Yeah,
can?
my beast thing allows me to.
Do you have to spend glamour for that, or no? Is it just
Wait,
It's Chrysalis. Let me check it out. I don't think I need to spend glamour to talk to the horse.
what the hell?
I am pretty sure they cannot do that.
Well, he's a beastkin, so he
Yeah.
could. 2 additional animal forms. Yeah, the character chooses 2 animals. Can transform into either one by evoking must see an animal before. Can't be small. Well, you could turn into a horse.
Does he have horse as one of his animal forms?
I do. Yes.
Okay. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, and it says winning, and it says specifically here, winning animal form, the character can communicate with other animals of that species.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna turn into a. I'm not gonna waste all my glamour that I spent all night getting.
Actually, you don't need to spend it because the catch is that you have to be in the environment.
Natural habitat. Well,
Oh.
this is not. This is a pen. It's not a natural habitat.
Oh, right, correct.
But if you were in
Got
a field, if you were outdoors, then it would. But in this case, yeah, you just spend glamour. You don't want to do that. So
My bad.
Oh, well.
you're half right.
I'm not spending glamour for the joke of like.
You took the horse. Like secretly, the horse is another changeling. Help me.
That horse is a spy.
What's that movie? I'm trying to remember now. The horse that makes the noise. Is that Young Frankenstein? I'm trying to remember. What's the
Mr. Ed?
Never mind. Never mind. Oh, Frau something. Emily would know. She used to make joke all the time.
Well, it kind of sucks that we're in the city because I'm like, what the fuck? I guess I could have done it. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, you
Natural.
are in the city right now.
yeah,
Anyway.
I'm just saying it kind of sucks because I can't use any of my animal forms.
Well,
you can. It just costs you a lot.
Well, yeah, I know, but
also, I think in that time, forest and countries were still plenty. So
Yes, so you could easily go into their natural. You're just not there right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe after we're done with the vampire politics here.
You'd definitely be able to get some, horses. And if you found like a rat or something, I would still count urban as its like habitat. So like, there are still some animals in the city that I would allow.
Yeah, I know. None of the animals I chose were.
No, urban. Okay, that makes sense. So anyway, so so we're in the courthouse. You guys are, so you're not really encouraged with speaking with the defense or the witnesses. They're kind of trying to keep you away, because then it prevents bias, but they're putting you in a sort of a hallway. And this is Erebach as well. So you're all being brought into a jury room.
I feel like this is the bad, like, no biased things when we're all like the same people, like who are gathered together.
You were the closest people to the courtroom, so you just happened to be chosen. But
They've got food in the pan.
they don't want you to. They don't want you to basically be, speaking with Charlotte, but you'd be brought into a jury room at this time. And the only thing that might kind of stand out to you is, and I'll let Charlotte kind of do what they need to in a minute, but the main thing that stands out to you is there's someone that you haven't seen before in the jury room.
Oh,
she is a woman with very bright sort of auburn hair. Her skin is bright pink, and she's wearing a long sort of black dress with frills and gloves. Most of her body is sort of covered. And she might even be wearing some, not sunglasses, but just like something to cover her face.
Oh, by the way, does my health get fixed at all?
You're bashing?
It was 1 lethal, I believe.
No, because it's only been 1 night. It's 2.
All right.
Good question though. So for next time you would heal.
All right.
Because you don't have any ability to heal yourself. If you wanted to, you would have had to see someone with medical help for that, but you can't heal it right away without help. But you see this woman in the jury room, and you don't you aren't familiar with her.
I will smell her.
Weird, but okay. Are you trying to pick out anything in particular about her scent?
Nothing in particular. Just trying to get like a general if I can pick up anything unusual.
Well, you know basically immediately that she is also kindred because you notice that she doesn't have a heartbeat or and is not breathing.
Okay.
She smells of perfume and basically has a very she smells also of, you're not sure, maybe of the, like she smells a little dirty, but that's partly why the perfume is there. So you can kind of smell that she's, kind of dolled herself up for this kind of event. But underneath that, there's a lot of grime. She probably normally hangs out in the other lower portions of the city, and you can kind of get that scent off of her, but she's trying to cover it.
Okay.
And I won't make you roll because you'd probably get like 12 successes again. That kind of thing, just to save time.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know. I've seen people with stupid amounts of dice fail.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm just saying, yeah, you would know, Vance. But I'm just saying the idea is that you get that sense of her. Yeah. She's lower class, but she's trying to at least look nice.
Mm-hmm.
She actually extends her hand out to Eravok. Hello there, sir. Good to actually meet you. Casey Poole. Good to make your acquaintance. I was told you'd be here.
Well, at least one of us knew that I would be coming.
Well, I was told that you might need some help navigating the city, so to speak. So the council decided that if anybody could help you, I would be the best choice. I don't blame them, of course. I know the city well, and well, we monsters sometimes need to stick together, if you know what I mean. This is what her face or her she generally looks like, but of course, just imagine her skin is very pink, almost like she's has a skin condition of some kind.
Okay.
And Lisa, you'd probably be able to assume, based on your knowledge of kindred, that she's likely a Nosferatu.
Oh.
But she looks very nice for a Nosferatu.
Yeah, I was gonna say for Nosferatu, that is.
Well, that's the thing. In Masquerade, Nosferatu actually were ugly as shit. In Requiem, they can be ugly as shit, but they can also be disturbing in a different way.
Okay.
She obviously can't walk around in public because her skin is abnormal, but she's doing a pretty good job of at least seeming presentable. Meanwhile, we cut to Charlotte. You are mostly done preparing your defense, but if there's anything you want to speak with Alden about before the trial, you're free to at this point. Morg?
Her mic is shut.
Yeah, I noticed. I was wondering if they heard.
Objection! Our client is not ready.
Objection! The client is not ready.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, okay. So you want me to wait until next session?
To start the official trial, yes. Pre-trial, I'm fine to do now.
Okay, sure. No, that's fine
I
with
have to
me.
get going, and it's been a while. So
That's
yeah.
fine with me. But yeah, is there anything you want to prepare before the trial?
Let me
Because at first you assume that you'd be able to talk to the people on, about this, like that you'd be able to defend your case to the people that you're trying to appeal to, but that's the whole point of the trial. Like you see them actually pass by, like you see all of the people being moved into the room, they're being separated from you.
Is my what's her face? Is my fetch with me?
Yes. Dr. Croft is with you.
All right, great. So I probably already did like a small talk with her, explain to her what exactly is going on, and for her not to ask too many questions about what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just so I have that set up. So I don't want her to just start freaking and be like, wait, these are what now?
Oh, so you break the masquerade and tell her about the existence. Okay, I understand.
I think I might have done that like the other night.
Well, no, not directly, but now you're doing it directly. Because she wasn't completely aware of what was going on, but now you're going to straight up tell her like, "Hey, these are vampires," yada yada yada.
Yeah, but I'm not doing this right this second. I'm saying like I probably did this the night before, like explain what's going on.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm just clarifying that you are, So if they found out you were doing this, then you would be killed. And Alden would mention that, like, hey, if you tell her about this, then and they find out she
Alden know about the full details of the fetch?
No.
Would I have known this from researching in the library?
You would know, like, researching what? Well, no, okay. What I'm trying to say is you're telling your fetch about the masquerade, and if they find out that you've told them this information, then you both would be killed.
Wait, never mind then. I wrote something in my notes I wouldn't do that. I'm looking back at my notes, I wrote down one of the rules I wouldn't do that. So
right.
Never mind then. Thank God the diary is there. All right, but no. So then no, I wouldn't reveal them about that. I just explained.
I'm a mage.
The best reveal ever.
No.
But I suppose I just talked to Alden about how he plans to deliver my case.
Oh, sure. So he would go over what you've agreed your defenses are. So he mentions that they might kind of question you about what you told the prince, but they've said that it's very reasonable that you might have just forgot, or you weren't brought up properly.
Mm-hmm.
So they might identify you as lower class.
You're special, Morg.
Which would only really get you exiled, and they're trying to prevent you from getting killed.
All right, so pretty much we're basically going for scraps so I don't get killed. All right.
Yeah, so they're basically trying to say that, well, the best case you can hope for is that they'll recognize you as lower class and that you'll be exiled from the society instead of being killed. Mm-hmm. And they say that, if you were to present that, if they accuse you of lying to the prince, then I spoke with the witnesses, the people who were there, about what happened, and Alden knows what the prince asked about, and as far as you've interviewed with him, you didn't lie to him directly about anything. So if they try to bring that charge, he can defend you against that. The idea being that he isn't really sure how to defend against the fact that your sire was missing, but the worst they can do in that case, knowing that your sire is missing, is assign you an adoptive sire and exile you from the society until you're deemed to be fit.
All right, that just seems. We'll assign you with an adoptive parent or a foster parent until you're able to walk on your feet. Sure.
And the third problem is essentially the one of you breached etiquette during the dinner, and the claim that you decided was that you were drunk and that your judgment was impaired. And as you would know during this time period, maybe for a formal party it wouldn't necessarily be proper, but
But going back on, he said my first offense was I wasn't raised properly and I have no sire.
Correct.
So couldn't, instead of saying drunk, we could just fall back on the first thing that I was never raised properly, so I don't know any etiquette about the kindred society?
They would still expect you to behave properly because it's not kindred etiquette they were talking about. You violated general etiquette.
That's general etiquette of this time?
Yeah.
Rip?
This is stuff that would be common knowledge. Like, that's why it was weird, because during the meeting you like stepped out of line, you started talking to the prince. Then during the dinner you said you didn't want to eat because you already ate, which is also rude. You know, these kind of things would be considered very rude for you to do. And he's trying to say, you know, maybe make the defense that you were impaired. And
I guess, but I guess,
And
Yeah,
Alden
so-
would.
I'm just asking because, like, well, I bring it up because, like, the proper etiquette would be taught that the prince is a respected figure, but if I wasn't raised properly, I wouldn't even know what the importance of the prince.
You know, the host of the party is, you know, he's still the host of a dinner.
All right, that's fair enough.
It doesn't change that information.
Uh-huh.
Whether he's called the prince or he's called a host, it doesn't change his role at a dinner. But Alden would ask you if you fed on anybody that was drunk or drugged, because that would help your defense.
I'd probably say I fed off a drunkard in
Okay, that's exactly what he
an
would.
alleyway or something.
That's exactly what you would want to tell them. You're lying, but if you can convince the judge of that, they might lighten your sentence.
All right, well, that's why I have that subterfuge in my back pocket.
Right. So that's the only thing you need to directly lie about. And he's saying that if you can convince them that you were drunk, you were impaired, and that you weren't properly raised, they would probably just exile you and assign you some sort of adoptive sire. And hopefully not him. He says, well, I'm hoping this is just temporary. I couldn't house you myself. But they'll assign you someone. And once they do, they will properly train you, and you'll most likely be forgiven over time. Death is likely not plausible unless they determine that you've lied or caused some grand offense to them, which, as we've determined, is not the case, which is very good. I think that I can help you escape this execution.
Yes, dying again would not be very optimal.
Now, if you want to speed through the trial, we could cut through to the point where you just have to make that lie, and then we could wrap it up very fast. But it's up to you if you want to just do it quickly. I don't mind.
So excuse me to interrupt for a second. Since I was gone last time, I would just like to know: did she kill her fetch after all, or not?
No,
No.
my fetch is with me.
Okay.
I'll explain the situation after this session. But I think what I would want to do is we could skip to that key roll and probably get the trial over with very fast.
All right,
Okay.
that works with me.
Okay. Because it's the only thing that you would actually need to roll for, because we've basically established what your defense is, and the jury would hear the same defense. So everyone else in the party would hear this, Alden arguing these things. That you were lower class and that you were badly raised, but that doesn't mean that you should be killed, essentially. And they're the ones who decide your fate. And Juliet mentions the elders have already voted, but it's up to the local jury of your peers to determine the result.
All right, well, I'm rolling that's 8 dice, and if I had willpower, I'm rolling 11 dice.
That's good. So go ahead and roll your 11 dice.
Alrighty.
Please.
I was just trying to find the right server. There we go. Oh, is Sidekick still not working, or?
It has a delay.
All right, so I'll just make a minor adjustment to the roll.
No,
All
it's working. It's just there's a. Oh,
I got 3 successes.
very good. Okay. Give me a moment then, because that might change my result. Here, I want to check because I think this would override it. No, I don't think. Let me check. No, okay, so it wouldn't. That's bad for you then. So you actually no, because I think it would override it in this case because you'd be able to remain calm.
I do have 3 composure if I have roll composure.
Yeah. No, you're fine. It would be well, what did you roll? What was the pool that you used? Was it
I rolled 3 subterfuge
and then
3
manipulation?
Yeah, 3 manipulation, a willpower, and I used the buff from my
So you get a beat from that, so make sure you mark the beat.
All right.
So what I will say, and this is something that Lisa notices, that Juliet is actually using Auspex to determine if she's lying. But since Charlotte is able to remain so calm during this that the Juliet doesn't even really notice that she's being fooled.
Oh, she is good.
Which is very impressive.
Emotionless visage intensifies.
And I think that's part of it too. It's because you're a changeling and you're literally so emotionless that you're able to pull off this. Because I feel like if you were immortal, this would be impossible. And that's just how I'm going to flavor it. Because normally I would say, oh, her Auspex overwrites your role entirely. But since you're a changeling and you do have, you were modified in this way to become more emotionless, I think I'll allow it that you did get more successes than her. So I'll say that you were able to at least do something to actually, especially if you spent a glamour here, I would say it's definitely possible because then you could just reinforce your mask. And I would say that she can't even see your mood at all.
Yeah, I'll spend the glamour, and I guess as she tries to see through my lie, I guess it literally just feels like my face looks frozen in place as if made of ice.
Okay, so yeah, you reinforce your mask, and normally there'd be a separate roll, but in this case, I'm counting this as the contested. So the way it works is essentially you're reinforcing your mask so she can't see your entire mood, and she isn't sure at first. She's like, "You're not lying to me, are you?"
She'll always swivel her head towards her. I guess she looks almost, I guess at this point she does almost look vampire-like because she's extremely pale.
Right.
Still, and her face is emotionless. I have no reason to lie to the court. I simply wish to go and rejoin my sister.
She nods. Well, all right. The court has heard the evidence, and the jury will deliberate and come to a decision, and that decision will decide your fate. Please, everybody, this way. And she shows the jurors into a room, and you're expected to come to a decision. Casey pretty much agrees that Charlotte should be let go, but you guys have to make your own decision. I mean, obviously you guys are biased, so you can choose whatever, but you know that she's on Charlotte's side because of the defense was fairly solid. That even though she insulted the prince and caused a scene, she was raised improperly and impaired, so she can't be held completely accountable for her actions.
So we have to give our opinion?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Well, I will say that I do think she cannot be accounted for it since, she was badly raised. But I do think measures should be taken to make sure that this doesn't happen a second time. So in particular, I would suggest assigning to teach her the proper ways of our society.
Right.
I'm pronouncing it wrong?
No, I understand. You're
Good.
correct. What's William's opinion? I mean, you already know Charlotte, so I know you're going to just support her, but I'm curious as to how you frame it to the rest of the people there. Is Dustin gone? Dustin? Oh, I don't hear them. Okay.
Is he curled up in front of the fire sleeping?
I don't know. What about Eravak? What is your opinion? Because I can already kind of assume his, but you said you were on the fence on it, so I'm curious what you would ask for as in terms of the result. Mikhail agrees with you, by the way. He's also there.
Okay, good.
And Roland also agrees with you.
Whoa! Roland and Mikhail agree on something.
Nani the fuck?
This is weird. How could they even? Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's his reaction. You know, you're saying, "Oh, we should rehabilitate her," and Mikhail's like, "Yes, I agree," and Roland's like, "Yeah, I think so too," and he's like, "What?"
Vomiting ensues. What do you mean?
I've been rather bored.
These sessions are getting better and better.
Yes.
Says Lisa out of character.
Yes, I'm saying that out of character, obviously.
Yeah.
Whereas Eravok is rather bored.
Gotcha. So you're bored by the whole trial sequence, but they ask you to pass a judgment on her. So I'm curious as to what you would say.
I might have fell asleep through the entire trial.
Out of character?
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I called it. He was curled up in front of the fire sleeping.
But in character, I could imagine you slept as well.
Oh,
They asked you to deliver an opinion, and you didn't hear any of the defenses. So
Yep.
I don't care. She's my friend. Going back to
do you
sleep.
want me to live, Dustin?
He had his Jaden glasses on.
Yeah.
The room.
Just like glasses of eyeballs, like.
Mhm.
Every creature has deserves a chance to live before they ultimately meet their fate.
Happy we all agree on this. This is good. Casey's like nodding. I'd hate for her to die for no reason.
From my home, when a woman is out of line, we give her a thrashing.
That doesn't seem too unreasonable.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
She might deserve a thrashing for what she's done. Speaking out against the prince is highly objectionable.
What?
A thrashing like they're gonna beat me with a stick.
I wasn't like Casey. I was actually like, yeah, okay, we'll go with the thrashing. That's fine, but let's just not kill her over it.
I don't know about that.
But you agree she shouldn't be killed. That's the matter of.
I do agree about that, yes.
Yeah, that's the only thing that matters. So as long as you all agree she won't be killed, she might be punished in some other manner.
If she's not being eaten, then there's no reason to hunt her.
Yeah. The question is simply, do you want her to die or not? So if you're wanting to thrash her, then that's not, death. So
Okay.
that's good enough for me. So essentially the vote comes back. You all agree on the consensus that Lisa should not be killed. She should be punished, but
No, I should not be killed. Not Lisa.
oh, sorry, not Lisa. Sorry, Charlotte. I'm out of it today. Yes. So Charlotte,
You're out of it. I was completely asleep during the trial.
Charlotte,
Why would people trash me? I didn't do anything.
Because you're a harlot and you suck someone dry in an alleyway.
no, they didn't. They didn't kill them.
I didn't kill them.
That's fair.
I didn't even kill the horse.
How did this trial just turn to Lisa's like, why am I on trial?
The horse is saying
The horse, like,
the horse was really a gangrel that was trying to like.
I'm just imagining now, like, okay, trial is concluded, and then the horse just walks in.
I was violated.
And then you need to talk about, and then the only one who can save us is William.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Your Honor, I speak horse.
Yeah. But I'm sorry for rushing things. Just I have a
No, I'm okay
tomorrow.
with rushing it. It'd be easier if we rush things.
Yeah,
'Cause
I have to like
we-
review some notes before my midterm tomorrow. So
we don't actually need to go through the whole thing in detail. But you are basically sentenced to stay with Alden until
And his
until
chipmunk.
he decides that you're reformed, and he can punish you as he sees fit.
oh my,
And he's just like, "Excuse me, I did not intend for this to be a permanent relationship. I can't. I don't have any. We can't do that." And Julia's just like, "My judgment is final."
when you want to flirt with the cute lawyer, but you're emotionally damaged, so you can't flirt.
All right.
Judge Julie.
Just come with me, and I'll try to see if I have some space in my home.
I will follow along, and I guess my fetch will follow until they get to their stop at their hospital.
And then they leave immediately because they don't want to be away from the hospital.
Yes, Daddy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'll
Well,
come up next time.
Oh, yes.
No.
So what's going on again? Are they gonna skunk her or something?
Well, what I will say as a bit of a cliffhanger, just so we have one, because I like to at least hint at what's going to happen next.
Oh god, I didn't just give you idea, did I?
No, listen, I had planned this for a while, so this is not an idea that you gave me. I've had this idea for a long time.
We're going to
So-
spank Charlotte.
No,
Oh.
let me actually tell you what actually happens.
Okay,
You
okay.
can stop speculating. So he opens the door as a tad, right? Just very slowly. He's trying not to make a lot of noise. And he tells you to be quiet. Like he's trying to signal to you to like not make any noise.
Uh-huh.
You walk into this small apartment that he has set up. There are some papers kind of strewn about, legal papers, things like that. There's a desk. There's like little pens and sort of very various like books lined around, maybe a small bookcase. He kind of tries to push you into the room quickly and shows you where his bedroom is. But as he's like trying to shove you out, you notice that there's someone sleeping on the couch, like in his main room. She's covered with a blanket, but you notice that she's not wearing any. She's wearing underwear, but she's not wearing any clothing, and her hair is noticeably very strange because it's long, sort of flowing, this strange turquoise color, very unnatural. And he's trying to kind of ease you away from this person and moving you towards the bedroom, or his bedroom.
Is there anything that reminds me about the hedge about this person? Or does it just look abnormal?
How many clarity boxes do you have?
I have 1x.
Okay, but how many total do you have?
I have 5.
Okay, including the X?
Yes.
So then you can roll me 4 dice.
Oh boy.
I'm just like 4 successes.
I'm ready
Actually,
to
no.
fuck
Sorry,
up.
I roll. I'm sorry. I'm the one who rolls this. Cause
You roll.
It's secret.
Making me try to roll.
I'm
Disgusting.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, you notice that there's definitely some kind of fey essence about her. It's not normal. You're not exactly sure what, but she's not a mortal person. But she's not a changeling either, which is weird.
Oh, she's a fey touched.
She
Yeah,
might
I
be.
was thinking the same thing.
She might actually be a hobgoblin.
Oh my. So wait, is he like pushing me in this room and then like
He's trying to get you away.
Here?
He's trying to get you away from them.
I'll get you, Spider-Man.
so like my character's not really resisting too much, but as they're like going on, like she kind of like says like an emotional tone. They know that she's here.
Oh, sorry. Someone was making noise. I didn't hear what you said.
So like she's not really like fully resisting, but like she got like a good glance at the hair, and she sort of says like an emotional tone. Do they know that she's here?
He's nodding like.
Wait, is like a nod yes or a nod?
No, he's like shaking his head. No,
I think it's best you keep it that way.
and he's trying to usher you into his bedroom.
I dive into his bedroom. Okay, now like I go into the bedroom.
It's dark in there. You can hardly see anything, but for him it seems very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Just hide in here, and if anybody comes in, just pretend like you're not around.
Here,
I see.
he puts a lamp head on you.
Yeah, he like tries to hide you in the closet, but he gives you some like spare. Yeah, he actually hides you in his closet, and
Shut up, Meg.
and gives you a blanket and a pillow
Thanks.
so that you can sleep.
Like she sort of like gives like a nervous glance at the door. You're not using her, are you?
Sorry, someone made noise. I didn't hear what you said.
She like takes like a nervous glance like the room of his bed to like the door of his bedroom. He's like, "You're not using her, are you?"
I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's a little complicated.
Well, she's practically nude on your couch.
Practically? Well, I mean, normally she doesn't even wear that much.
Oh my.
That was supposed to be reassuring.
You know what she is?
Do you? He's like kind of leaning in.
I'll tell you if you tell me.
That depends. Can you keep a secret?
What do you think? He's like almost like pointing to her like on the bed or on the couch. Like, what do you think?
She's sort of like as like a response, like almost like it's almost like a really childlike response. Like it fits her age, but not her demeanor. She sort of like holds up her pinky promise.
I don't. Okay. He like puts his. I don't even know if it's a thing yet, but I'll just assume. Okay, sure. So he. Oh wait. So now are you sealing?
Yeah,
it?
she's trying to make like a promise that he won't speak of.
Okay.
He won't tell her what like.
So
he will not speak of what she's about to tell her.
So then you have to spend a glamour for that.
I'll spend the glamour to make a promise. Why
And
not?
You can spend willpower too if you want to make it more extreme.
I mean, I'll get a willpower by sleeping right now, so y'all use a willpower. I'm done
Yeah,
with 2 willpower.
okay. So then you spend the willpower there. So it's going to be like an extreme sealing. Just make a note of that on your sheet that you've sealed him to this promise. Because that's something that you mark on your end.
I'll write in my notes.
Yeah. Because that'd be under your conditions. It's like normally on your character sheet it'd be like a separate thing for pledges. But you can put under conditions. And that you've made a pledge with him. I mean, you could make it I don't think it'd be a bargain because it'd have to be two-sided, so it's just a sealing. You could technically make it an oath, but I don't think you'd want to be permanently bonded with him.
No, I'll just make it strong.
Okay. It's a very strong sealing though. So what do you say? Like when you make the promise and then what?
Right, so I was just making like a quick note of that. So I'd say in like almost a hushed tone, as if afraid that someone might be hearing. She is like the Fae, if you know what that is.
She's not a demon?
No, not a little demon. A Fae.
Oh,
Or
oh.
something related to one.
So you're saying she's trying to trick me?
What did she tell you?
We can discuss this later. You look tired.
Yes. Come fetch me when she wakes up. Maybe we could talk then. And with that, she sort of like nods and like she like tucks herself into like the smallest nook in the closet,
Yeah.
almost like she's used to the cramped space. Sleep night
Okay.
night.
You fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And like the implication when he's saying you look tired is he realizes that you're also probably not a kindred. Because you wouldn't be tired otherwise.
Actually, that's a good point.
I'd say that I'm very tired.
Okay, so
Just
he's
to accentuate it.
starting to catch on what might be happening and okay, sorry. I will give out beats now. So main thing would be everyone gets 1 for participating, so make sure everybody marks.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna check everyone's aspirations now.
Okay.
Oh, I should have made him swear to give me protection for this.
That would be it. You can make a bargain with him after.
Yeah, alright, because I would have filled out my other aspiration. Because my aspiration of getting out of the trial, right, succeeded.
Yeah, you can make a bargain with him later. You don't need to do it right now, but this would probably be the most important one.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, so I need to check everyone's aspirations real quick. So let me go to characters. No, Alistair is not here. So I go to William next. So William, actually, I'll do Lottie so that you can go after this.
Thanks.
Boop, 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 boop. Is Ervak okay?
Being attacked by a horrible monster.
Okay, well, you do get the aspiration. You both get out of the trial okay. So you do get another beat for that. And then I will take this and I will... Oh, I can't move anything. Okay, well, you can remove that first aspiration.
Yep.
And then you get another... Make sure you add the beat for that.
And also remove the +2 constitution thing.
Yeah, and you mark the beat for that one as well, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you got a lot of beats this session.
Wait, so I got 2 for my aspiration, like that thing. Then I got another one for the session.
Oh, and also you get the third one for the notoriety as well. So you get another beat.
All right, so in total I got 3 beats this session.
You got 2 from your conditions. You got 1 from the aspiration, and then you get 1, so you have 4.
Oh, all right, so I'm at 1 XP, 3 beats.
Yep.
Which in total is 2 XP, 3 beats. Dang, I did a lot.
Yeah, you did. I mean, this is mostly supposed to be about you, so you did a good job.
Oh, yes.
The next one is... So you can go if you need to.
All right, thanks. I'm going to go look over some notes. Zoom.
Okay. Now I'm going to look at William.
Okay.
You failed. No, I'm kidding. Go to the place you're drawn. So you didn't deal with the danger that is Erebus. Is that that one's new, right?
That one was one I had end of last session because
Okay.
I swapped it in for.
That was your newer one. Okay.
Yeah.
That one's kind of nebulous. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I guess we'll have to talk about this. I feel like a lot of your aspirations should change because these last 2 are very difficult for you to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So we should talk about that after the session. But
right.
For now, yeah, you wouldn't get any beats for those, but you marked off everything else you got, right?
Yeah.
And then you just got 1 more for finishing, so you are good.
Okay.
There.
I just got 2 beats today. So.
Yeah, it's not horrible. For Lisa,
Yes.
let's see yours real quick.
I'm probably actually
So
going to
let's
bounce too and take my nap.
Oh, sure. Go ahead then.
Okay.
Yeah, I had planned for you to have a scene about Roland, but I needed Alistair to be here for that, and that was, they weren't here, so.
No problem.
But you could always try to learn about Roland differently in your own way later. I did have a scene planned for the two of you, but it just didn't happen because
I still got to interrogate our box, so
Sure. So you do get a beat for that, and then you can put a new aspiration there.
okay. So
Definitely keep the Roland one though, because that can come up later. I actually had a whole scene written for it. It didn't come up. So
okay.
for Aravok, you have 2 XP now. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And
You now.
Yeah, I only got the one beat that pushed me to 2.
that's good though. Again, we could always refine your aspirations, but the ones that you have are still good. Now that the trial's over, the story's pretty much wrapped up, so we're going to have a lot more opportunities to move things in a different direction from now on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to stop the broadcast.